Okay, we stay here waiting for you. And what do you think, Ricardo?
Uh, well, uh, I don't know. Uh, yeah, I believe that's try to find the positive things is better. I used to say that if you became nervous or concerned regarding a certain situation, you have two problems now. One, that's the real problem, and the another one is, yeah, when you became nervous or something, you face uh, more difficult to find the answer or solve the problem. That's it. Are you muted, Tamara?
Sorry about that, guys. I agree with you, Ricardo, and I try to do that every time that when I have some kind of feelings bad. And I don't know, I try to go out, for example, and just laughing with the other person, my husband, when I saw the cats, dogs, for example, or kids at the street. And that's so nice. And Ricardo, can you read for us the number three, please?
Sure. How often do you use humor to cope with difficult situations? I don't know. Sometimes I use this tool more than uh, necessary, or not necessary, but more than I sometimes it is I should uh, have more focus, or I don't know, because uh, sometimes the people don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, but I try to uh, use this kind of tool, humor. Let try to let the things lighter, because I believe that there are certain circumstances in our life that they are deep and hard. So in this case, I try to find the best view or the positive view from any kind of things. But yeah, I sometimes I face problems because of that. The people, for example, I arrive at the office, for example, singing or laughing, and the people used to say, "You you don't have this right. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, for example." But but that's okay. I try to respect another people too.
Some kind of like you are not a human because you can sing it at the 7 a.m. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And
Probably, for example, if you go to the gym uh, and find the people happy so early morning, I believe that
mm,
I can feel the same feeling.
oh my. I try to do that, but in almost every day, for example, when I remember that I went to the gym so early or to work, for example, go out. I try to left a lot, but sometimes it doesn't happen. I can't. And Michaeli, Um, you can answer the question number 2.
The question number 2, do you believe that
Mhm.
life is the best medicine?
Mhm.
No, for me, no. I I I don't know why. I think it's depends situation.
Mhm.
It's important, but not in all the cases. And when I know talk about this is important for many reasons, and it's common, especially here in Brazil. But I agree with what you said before. I think so.
Okay. And the number 3, what do you think?
The number 3,
Mhm.
yes, I am this kind of person that when I'm nervous, I do a lot of jokes. Unfortunately, I don't like to speak in public, and this
Mm.
happens with me, and I hate that. This, oh my gosh, I hate. I do a lot of terrible jokes, and it's like I force I I do a lot of pressure to do these jokes, and never works for me. So I hate this, and I do this a lot in my life.
It's complicated.
Yes.
For example, tell me more when you need to speak um, in public, for example, you just laugh it or you just make jokes.
Yeah, I make jokes. I have a good example. In the past, I needed to speak in a public when I do a presentation. I did a presentation for my work at the university, and I present a paper about rats and medicine, and the rats need swim in a box. It's this happens. It's an experiment, and I said that rats don't exist for swim. I I can't do said that because I had a judgment for my presentation, and it's a standard experiment. Red swing, and I can said this kind of jokes in the public for the people. So it's kind of things I usually uh, said things that is not a serious things, or I don't think about what I'm saying. It's kind of things.
It's complicated. And what do you think? Oh,
Uh, for me, I think it's same because I can uh, use humor in this moment. When I'm nervous, I can laugh, I can do it. But I have an example. I have one of my sibling brother. He, I always say, I don't know a person more resilient like him, because doesn't matter you are if you are nervous with her, if you are trying to fight to him, always he cover and say something, some joke, something to cover this moment. Then it's impossible to fight with him. Then always I have more 7 siblings. Then sometimes I have some conflict. Then when it happened with him, it's impossible because never you can say ever what you have to say, but he received the way it's impossible to continue nervous with him. Then always you laugh about this. Then have a resilience, a big resilience, because I can't do what he do, because it's I don't know what's happened, but I always have this part, have humor to cover this situation. But for me, it's impossible to happen.
I said the same words like you. For me, it's impossible. For example, I can't. When I'm feel angry, I'm feel angry, and
I tried sometime, because when my children have some problem, I try to put humor in this moment, but it's not always depend of the moment. It's impossible.
Mm, exactly that. And Mikaeli, can you read for us the number 4, please?
Hmm. Do you think humor can help in resolving conflicts? How? Um, Depends the situation, but I think humor can diffuse tensions, like comment as some kind of joke can ease a heavy situation, um, helping both parties relax and reset emotionally. Um, I think humor can build connection with the people, like sharing laughs. I think is important, even during disagreement. But of course, depends situation. Exists some situation that be a serious person is very important. Like professionally, I think have the humor is important, but not a lot of humor. So in my case, I hate people that have a lot of humor and do a lot of jokes in at the work and um, talk a lot. So it's important to have the conscious about that. It's good to have good humor, but not in all the time and use that is like a tool for solve a lot of problems. So I think it's important to have this conscious.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Yeah. And for example, with me, it's happening just when I don't like, for example, a specific person. For example, if I need to go to this, I don't know, someone place, and I meet this person, for example. Uh, all the times I try to left because I don't like this person, and so, for example, it's like in my mind, of course, it's like I'm so happy and you're not. I don't know if it is correct, but it's my kind of a of a resolve conflict, for example. And what do you think, Ricardo?
Uh, it's important too. It's important too, but it's necessary to pay attention because the people are different each other. No?
Mm-hmm.
In certain situations and in certain people, you could use this tool. Uh, I believe that when before the conflict, I believe that humor is mm, more useful. But when the conflict uh, happen, I don't know. Try to talk could be better. Try to
Mm-hmm.
uh, calm down. Uh, I don't know. I believe that sometimes in certain situations, when you try to insert humor in conflicts, could be let the things worse. In my opinion.
Hmm. Depend of case. In my case, for example, I became a joker.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I consider a good tool, but yeah, depends on the people, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
If your person could be mood, huh? Sometimes causes more problems than help, ideally.
Hmm. Exactly that. And what do you think, Ho?
Yeah, depend of the situations, Ricardo said, because as I said, when I have a conflict with my brother, always he solve with a joke, a humor. It's difficult to continue to fight with him. Then depend of the kind of humor you can solve conflict. Yes, my father have this behavior too. Always have a humor to solve some conflict between us and among us. Then I think it's this my brother cope with this behavior of my father. Then nowadays it's impossible to fight with him. Then use the humor always to solve some conflict. But if
Any
I am with someone, as you said, that I doesn't like, I don't like, it's impossible to continue even smile because I'm so serious in this moment. It's impossible to laugh, to just smile because I am in the place I feel bad. Then it's impossible to laugh, to smile even if I am so nervous. I'm trying to laugh, but I'm like serious. It's I don't know what.
and because of this, Ho, for example, you it's possible you, for example, go away in a specific place.
In the first opportunity, I go.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm in the place that I don't like. I feel bad. Then I I still a little. I I try to stay a little time. Then I try to go away.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. But for example,
If
I
you
smile a lot,
Yeah, if
but
you need to stay there, you need to continue.
yeah, exactly that. For example, if he is this place, it's a party, for example, I don't move and I don't go away. And let me see. The number 5. Ricardo, can you read it for us, please?
There are some situations where humor is not appropriate. Ah, in my opinion, I consider humor.
Ricardo,
I'm sorry. Uh, what are some situations? I was talking, but my mic was up. What are some situations where humor is not appropriate? Uh, I consider humor a powerful tool for, I don't know, almost all of the situations. But uh, yeah, depends on some people could don't accept this situation good. For example, recently, né, a humorist was receive a penalty, né, 80 years in jail and a million, 2 million reais. Né? I Yeah, that's so weird in my opinion. Could be polemic for some people, but
Laulins?
yeah, could be
É?
polemic for people, but I don't know. He was presenting or acting in a show. So, but when you talk with people in an office, or I don't know, as a politician or president, I don't know, maybe the best strategy is become serious. No? Uh, but when you, for example, are a boss, and you know your team, so in this case, I could use better this tool. No? I consider, uh, for example, because suddenly use humor in a perspective in a different context in this, but for example, employees in from your team, could you consider you not so serious and mix and the misunderstand your messages, this kind of situation. So unfortunately, sometimes it's not possible to use. Uh, but if you, the people, your team, your audience are mature, you could separate the both sides. The time you could certain time you could use humor, and another time it's not possible. That's it.
Yeah. I about the gate about the Laolins. I have a confession for you, Ricardo, because I never watched um stand up about this. I just watch it at the internet, for example. I never stayed there. For example, physically to watch him. So, but in my opinion, it was it's like I forgot the name. Uh, Excessive, for example. For me, it's have others for example, can make made the worst jokes with the other person, and I don't agree with the penalty like he said. And let me see. The situation that the humor it's not appropriated, in my opinion, for example, all the time when someone falls, for example, in front of me, I just laugh and smile first, and I asked for the person, you need some kind of help after, of course. I don't know what's happening with me, but I'm this, just like that. And what do you think, Ro?
I agree with you all, but I think there is so many situations it's not appropriate to use humor,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you realize that they have a bad situation and there is someone there trying to make some joke, then always in the same room are so serious, there's someone trying to make some joke, but maybe this person used the joke to control your nerves or something like this, but always you not receive that like a behavior, a good behavior.
It's possible
And
to.
and you want to use some other person to make other uh, laugh to smile only because they are make some prejudice about the others, trying to use the other's name or other body or other person to make joke and try to make others laugh about this because are using other person to make joke. Then depend of situation. If you are in work is in um velório trying to make some joke. It's impossible to make a joke in this moment.
No,
Yeah.
it's impossible, of course.
Yeah, but nowadays it's so different because the last velório that my husband was, it's all the time people are doing the jokes because I remember the time because they go there trying to make some pray and then try go to talk about the time, talk about everything. Don't stay there only to pray or something. They are there, talk, then make a joke, laugh. Then it's not even in the works they make joke all the time.
It's happening.
Yeah.
But of course, like you said, sometimes it's impossible. For example, if you don't have, for example, nothing that you can left a lot, for example, in velório, like you said, yeah, of course, I guess it's impossible to left and make some kind of a joke. But depend of situation, you know.
Mhm.
And what do you think, Michael?
I agree with you, Rosalia. I think in funeral is difficult because it's when a lot of people uh, meeting uh, since a long time ago. So people really do a lot of jokes and talk a lot. This happens here in Brazil. The last funeral that I went, it was the same. Um, about the Leo Lins example, I agree with you, Tamara. I think it's easier do jokes about sensitive topics like race or gender or disability, uh, and it can perpetuate harm and or offend those affected. So exists a lot of situation that it's possible to do jokes. Why this person do this kind of topic is for create humor. So I understand that when we want to watch this kind of show, you know what this kind of topics the person will talk about. I understand. You pay for watch and you know about that, but it's easier for him to talk about this, and it it's possible to do jokes for with a lot of different situations and respectful situations. And I think it exists a lot of situations that we can't do jokes and laughter aloud, like a funeral or when we stay with people you don't know well, so you you can't establish trust or shared understanding. Humor can be easy misunderstood or perceived as disrespectful. So exists a lot of situations that uh, the world of jokes is not respectful or the best moment to do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly that. And I saw in an interview 2 weeks ago that Jim Carrey, the actor, became a funny person and a joke person because your mom has anxious and some like I don't know to say in English, depression. And he just became joker and a funny person because of her mama. And I thinking about it too. I guess, for example, when some kind of person needs to behind your pain, maybe it's possible this person, for example, make a joke, depends of the situation. And let me see. Oh, can you read it for us the next question? I guess it's number
Yeah,
6.
I think. Only I want to add something. I have a, a daughter-in-law. One of my
Mm.
daughter-in-law have this problem because all the time she has are laughing, make some joke only to hide depression because she is so depressed and all the time she are laughing, to trying to make some joke, but you know that is not real. When you are trying to talk with her and he start to talking about the problem, then she cry all the time and trying to hide a little this decision.
And
Uh,
she doesn't, for example, um, talking about.
it's so hard to talking about. When you're trying to talking about, she started to pray, to cry, and it's impossible to talk. But she now it's better. She are more. She realized that need to talk more and have some treatment. And now it's better than the past. But it was a long time doing the same.
Mm, so
Uh,
sad, no?
oh, so bad. At the beginning, you say, "Oh my gosh, she is so fan person because all the time she left, but it's not. She hides some a lot of problems." Number 6. Do you use humor to make new friends or break the ice? No, never. I use uh, humor because I'm not the person that I know how to make a joke, something like this. Then when I trying to talk with some person, I try to talk the normal way, like what is the weather or something like that. Because when we are traveling, always I try to make some different friends because I like to use the languages as you are now in Chile. Then all the time we're trying to talk with the different person because I wanted to continue to talk in Spanish. Then always we're trying to make some different friends. It's amazing, but it's not make some joke or some humor different. Then only trying to start to talk and go away. My husband used a little bit some different joke, but it's not joke, only to put something a little bit humor in the middle, but only trying to continue the conversation.
Mm. And then I have a question for you. Who you are at the line at the supermarket or a bakery, for example, em português, quem é você na fila do pão? The bread line.
Yeah, at this moment you need to know more who are in the bakery.
Yeah, at the bread line.
Yeah.
And I am this person, for example. If when I need to stay calm and I don't like to talk with other person, the other person talk with me. It's happening all the time.
Yeah.
But mainly, I am this person. For example, I get a new conversation with the person that I never see before. And I don't know why. I don't make a joke, for example, but just get a new conversation. And I am this person at the line.
When you are traveling is easier because only the ask who are born, you was born, you are live.
Yeah.
Start the conversation, and that's it.
Yeah. Exactly that. And what do you think, Ricardo? Ricardo?
I'm sorry. Uh, as I told you, I consider I'm not exactly a good example because I am a person that try to find the situations where humor is a good tool. I try to use this tool a lot of times. Sometimes I use a lot more than necessary, or necessary could not exactly a proper word, but sometimes, as I told you, I consider so better you live using humor in your life, try to be positive. Uh, so I'm not exactly a optimist person. So I consider myself a pessimist, but I try to do my best. So
Mm.
and I know that there are to face problems and the other stuff. So, but when we talk regarding my close friends, my family, I use humor as as I can. So in any kind of situation. So uh, because because I don't be afraid regarding misunderstanding. Sometimes of course, but when talk regarding close friends and family is better. But I try to avoid sometimes, for example, people that I don't really know is uh,
Like who
the
you are at the bread line.
could be. So in this case, sometimes Brazilians have more this kind of profile, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. But even Brazilians, there are a lot of different profiles. So in this case, uh, I try to analyze better and try to use the best option. So uh, not in my opinion. In my opinion, I don't like to some kind of jokes, but
Mm-hmm.
if it's a show or a kind of thing, I, for example, I hate terror, this kind of move, for example, but a lot of people like it. So in this case,
Who?
I don't understand
What you don't like?
terror movies. So this kind of movies, I
Mm,
hate this genre,
um,
but a lot of people like it. So in this case, I don't believe that you ever people consider uh, just a movie, né? But maybe some people could consider real situations and they do the same thing. But I believe that the problem is the person, not the genre. So in this case, I try to respect and consider a weird situation, but it's a kind of less kind of fun for people. I don't know.
mhm.
That's it.
And for example, Ricardo, when you go to the supermarket or the bakery, for example, it's
Mhm.
common for you get a new conversation with the other person.
Uh, Nowadays, the things became a little weird from my perspective, particular because sometimes the people invest money in things, uh, decorate, the store is fancy, have a lot of, I don't know, good gadgets, or I don't know, a lot of good presentation, but the one of the salesman talk to you or a balconist or something, the things became weird. For example, uh, I don't appreciate hamburgers or this kind of fast food, but
Mm-hmm.
my wife and my kid, my daughter, love. So uh, there are two main stores, Burger King and McDonald's, but I don't like, as I told, from the the hamburgers, but it's much better when I buy things in McDonald's because the attendance is much better, in my opinion. The people so polite, but when you talk regarding Burger King is totally different. The the, the people don't look in your eyes and the I don't know.
Mm.
That's weird.
It's like a
So in this case,
mechanical person, no?
yeah, yeah, I consider the person could be shy or have a different profile. I understand, but edu polite person is a kind of obligation, in my opinion. So
Mm-hmm.
in this case, it's a little weird, because the people, I don't know, don't receive good salaries sometimes or any kind of different things. But I don't know. I work receiving a small salary, so in the I don't consider an excuse to don't lead well with these things and don't say good day or a, a kind of representation. I don't know, respect things. I consider this kind of things more important than the product, and they consider to I don't know, consider a situation like better, for example, because for example, rice, beans, this kind of thing, you could buy in different places, but when
Mm-hmm.
you have a good, you are a good work, you could attract the people for another things, for example, because I don't know, you don't sometimes you couldn't have a small price, but you consider another aspects, attendance, for example.
Yeah, exactly that. And all have a lot of situation that I said for me, and I never return it here, for example, because the price it's good, but the
Yeah,
person it's not so good.
exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you. And what do you think, Mikael?
Mhm. I am more serious and I'm not a talkative person, so in the supermarket line, I'm always with headphone and pretend that when someone talk with me, I always pretend it's not with me. So I'm I I'm I usually not do jokes with people that I'm not know well because I think it's difficult to create intimacy to do this kind of jokes. Um, and I don't like talk. So for me, is that I think it's important to create new friends, create this kind of intimacy and do this kind of jokes and with respectful, of course. But in my life, I'm usually not do this because I think it's not about my personality. I prefer stay alone with my headphone and not talk with anyone always.
Mm. It's interesting because with me it's just the other side. For example, I can have some kind of fight with other person when I stay at the line at the supermarket. For example, have one place here that it's, for example, if you buy something, for example, you need to pass at the, I don't know, to say in English, caixa. And for example, the in this caixa have one notice that in this note it's right. Make you one line for one caixa. Então, uma
Fila.
fila para cada caixa. And all the time I saw just one line for the two caixas. All the all the time. And I asked for the persons that stay around of me and what the line you stay, what the line you stay, and I stay there. So I say, of course, okay. And I go to the caixa that don't have line. And for example, the other person said all the time he talk with
Oh my
me,
gosh.
you don't see the line? Of course, I can see, but you can read just like this. What he stay right just here, and it's complicated. And of course, I have some kind of
A lot
fight.
of fights.
So, guys, I really enjoyed this conversation, and unfortunately, we don't have more time. And I hope to see you in the next immersion. And today at the night, have immersion with me in English with music. And tomorrow it's in Spanish immersion. And I hope to see you there. And I hope you have a great day and see you guys